Okay, cosplay world. Here we have another Monday cosplay question. Yes. Okay. So, it's Tuesday though. Yes, it is. Anyway, maybe I should change the day because I keep running into like conventions. I'm like kind of complag or something's happening, or because yesterday I had a guest over and obviously I can't be shooting and editing videos if I have a guest. So that's my excuse. This time, I'm gonna keep answering your questions, keep sending them in. That way I know I don't have schizophrenia, I'm not talking to myself. I hit 600 subscribers, which is awesome. At 1,000, I'm going to be giving out another prop as a prize, as like awesomeness. I'm getting closer to like maybe becoming a partner. What is this? I don't know. I'm not sure how this all works. I need a YouTube guru because I don't know how to do stuff. Maybe I should say in all my videos like subscribe and rate and all the things. I don't know what those do. Maybe someone can tell me what those actually like functionally do. Oh well. A lot of people ask me about in my videos what my materials I use. If you don't know and you're a regular watcher, I try to update my videos regularly. And I put the list of tools and materials in the description. Now, if I'm just getting questions like, what is that, from random folks who aren't subscribed to me or just passing through or just don't know, I got the funny feeling I'd be answering those questions regularly, and that those are the people that don't check the description. And I don't know how. I'll just, for as long as I can be, I'll be as polite as I can about answering those questions or whatever. But if at any point I'm getting like 20 questions of like, hey, video 22, what's that thing that's blue? And I might not be able to answer every single time eventually. But for right now, I'm only getting like 5 or 6 a week of like, what's that thing? And that's not too bad. Yeah. Oh well, so the main question here is, I put up a video last week of a helm, and it was made of foam, EPS foam. And foam, you need a certain amount of thickness to work with, otherwise it is very weak, fragile, tendencies to not be good. So how, especially this is specific to a helm, what would I do when I have only a very small amount of space to work with? Now, I use EPS foam largely for sculpt work. I use PVC sheeting, that's this stuff next to me. Let me see if I can get a piece of this. Yes, this is PVC sheeting. And my hot knife is on. That means that's been on for about 3 hours, unattended. That's bad. You don't leave that on. Don't leave hot things on. That's dangerous. I could feel the heat emanating when I reach over there. But anyway, this is called PVC sheeting. I don't know. I try to advocate for this material as much as I can. It's very, very versatile. You just need a bit of a glue. You can use plastic glues that you find at hobby shops. This here is a general purpose. This is plastic weld. It is just a general purpose plastic glue. But this is the specific kind of chemical glue you use for PVC. Now, it gives off fumes. You should be aware that a lot of my stuff can give off fumes. I have a fan over there that I don't turn on unless the audio is gonna be cut or you guys can't hear it, so it will be terrible. Right. It's pretty flexible. That's pretty awesome, but it does have limitations. Let me give a piece that I'm not really concerned about breaking. So here we have a piece. It can break. Let me see if I can break it off in a more. So, okay, so there we go. It's pretty good. I mean, if you're doing this to a costume, you should be noticing something wrong at like this point rather than like this point. But oh well. So that's some scrap I got over there. I'm going to try and keep my scrap to a controlled minimum or maximum. That way I don't end up with a ton of scrap that's like, oh, I want it, but it's really of no use, kind of. This is all my plastic here, so I have this to work with until I run out. Hopefully, not for a while, but maybe Oh well, if I'm using it to do good things, I'm not going to be sad about losing it. Okay, so this is a helmet, specifically for a helmet, and this is completely made of PVC sheeting. However, it's painted, so I mean, there you go. The eyes are acrylic with a bit of paint over it because I don't have yellow acrylic, and it would be expensive to try and get a hold of a sheet of that yellow acrylic. I might switch it out for some gels, but we'll see what happens. But this whole thing is heated and shaped with PVC sheeting. If you go through my videos, you will definitely see me heating this up with heat gun. That's why I have heat guns here. I have the little one for fine-tune work, and like this is good for waterflex and things that are more temperature sensitive. This is for like heating up massive, huge pieces. Like here, these bits of the pauldron. These were easier because I had the bigger heat gun. I could distribute the heat more evenly. And the way you glue these down, I think I went off track, but the way you glue these down is simply touch two pieces together. If I can find two pieces of scrap that I don't mind demonstrating with. Okay. This is all pre-rehearsed, as you all guessed. But we have a dropper someplace. Aha, here we go. This is a syringe dropper. You can use a regular dropper, which I don't know where one is, but you can use a regular dropper with this glue. That's just fine. But I like the syringe dropper because you don't need a whole lot, and you could just squirt it into the little cracks there, and it'll glue in place. You have to keep this little needle clean, and that's why I have some wire over here someplace. Yeah, I have some wire, and I use the wire to kind of clean it out. Oh well, if you see me in the video kind of pause and go for like 10 seconds or 5 seconds, whatever it is on the video itself, that's what I'm doing, is cleaning it out. It's kind of awesome to kind of have more than just a dropper full of glue, so just kind of handy. Oh wow. But unfortunately it's empty, so it would take me, I don't want to waste you guys' time on that, but what I'm getting at here is that's what I use for my kind of sheet material work. All my armor here is made pretty much of PVC and one flex. I use the one flex for detail work. Like, you see these little rivet or weld marks here? This is very thin. It's a thinner material. This is 3 millimeters. This is about 1 millimeter. And it's much more flexible, so I couldn't really get that kind of shape and detail out of PVC. I could maybe get a little bit like that out of 1 millimeter. Well, I use 1 millimeter for different stuff, but anyway, that's why I use them together. I use their abilities together. Like, it's flexible and it's very durable, so I'm using it for this belt loop because it's bound to be, you know, wiggly and take a bit more stress as far as stretching and turning and things like that. So that's what. Now, how does this apply to you? Because I know not everyone is going to pony up money for heat guns, for glue, for the syringe dropper, for say saws and hot knives. Those are things that you'll come across in time. But what can you do until then? Well, foamies are readily available. Now, this is, I think, about, this is pretty thick. This is about a 1/4 inch, but you can get these in the thin packs now. This is about $2 a sheet, and this is about on the marketplace. If you can pick it up at a store, which you can find them at signage places, like wherever you can find signs. You can buy signs. You can find this at sign places. You can find this at hobby shops. It's hobby plastic. Yeah. This is about $2, maybe sometimes it could be $3, maybe, we'll say $2.50, just for this thickness. These are plastics, somewhere around $2 square foot, but again, that depends on, it can vary. All of this can be varied, but oh well. So you can glue this together just fine with foam glue or fabric glue or other things like that. I think I've gone over those kinds of glues in the past. So I'm not going to. And if you are on a budget, you could do the same kind of work with cardboard. Now, Will cardboard turn out the same quality as PVC? Maybe. Will it be a whole ton more work? Oh, you bet it will be. Because this is water soluble, it tends to give a little bit better. It has these kind of, the corrugation on the inside, the bit on the inside, that kind of, if you paint that, it leaves these kind of striations, and that's not exactly pretty. But you can get away with it, and if your overall work is fine, then no one's gonna really care, except for people who are super anal about that stuff, and them. Hopefully that was out of actual camera range. Whatever. I'm allowed to be human. Hopefully I'm allowed to be human. But yeah, you can use cardboard. I mean, it can be free. There's a dumpster near my house. I see cardboard in there all the time. But I prefer plastic. I think it makes some good stuff here. But this also applies to pretty much any other kind of sheet material. Foamies is probably the most accessible, most kind of it's what I'd say is the maybe the best choice for someone with a little bit of money, but not all these tools and all this experience that I have. Like this is a good material for an average person, I would say. This is good for that beginning cosplayer who's just like, I want to do something awesome, I don't have a lot of money, I'm going to use my time and my passion to make something great. Okay. Now I had another question with, what is it, Model Magic. Now this is actually Model Magic, that's the brand from Crayola. And it's about, finishing it, making it look nice. I don't use Model Magic because if I need to sculpt things, I'll use, say, EPS foams or wood putty or resin maybe or something like that. But this is pretty light, and this will you don't really need anything for it. That's the kind of thing. You just let it sit out, and it dries up, and it's the kind of your shape. But the problem I have with it is that it's kind of marshmallowy. So when you use it and shape it, it'll go, and then it'll kind of like lose definition as it dries. Not something I want to do. It can be good if you're working on something chibi and something goofy and cute. It could work, okay? But there's another problem with it. As it ages, it cracks. It's just gonna crack. So if you got big work, and this stuff can get expensive, you spend a whole boatload of money on this stuff, right? And you have a huge kind of ball, it's gonna crack all over if it's something big. There's nothing we can really do about that. It's just how the stuff works. You can maybe coat it and fill those things with gesso. But I would suggest sculpting, if you have something you need to sculpt with, like I would try some of the other sculpting materials like EPS foam or clay or maybe something else. If you want something like that, I use EPS foam for a reason. But we do use it though, we do use it. My wife makes these little grub cat horns. They're tiny little teeny tiny horns, and they're for little plushies. And I can imagine you could do the same thing with earrings or accessories or small things like that. Except they're so small that those cracks really don't appear. So it's not a problem. And it's cutie and it's simple, and you just let them sit out. You don't need any kind of chemical process. You don't need any kind of special skill. You just shape it in the way you want and then let it sit out. So that's how it's still useful. But those bigger pieces, they are bound to crack. Even if they're, say, like this big, they're gonna crack. The stuff we're making is pretty small. It's like that big, like earring size or jewelry size. So there we go. Now I bet you I've been ranting on for far beyond my allotted time, which is about 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm gonna end it there. I have videos for you this week. I think it's just the bone lance, and then I had not only convention last weekend, I had a festival. So those videos are coming up. Hope you enjoy. Hit all those buttons, rate, like, subscribe, all that. Support a cosplayer because I'm trying to support the community as well. Thanks, guys, for watching. Good times to all.